Okay. So what is frame? What is frame? FRAME. Frame. Guys, I'm asking you what is frame?
It's a combination of structural members, beam and
Combination
column.
of structural members. Okay, beam and column. Good. So actually, we're having two type of structures, right? One is load bearing structure, another one is frame structure. So what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two? Load bearing and the frame structures. Hmm? What is the difference?
Sir, in load-bearing structures, walls will carry the load, sir. In frame structures, we will have columns and beams to carry the loads
Column.
and transfer the loads.
Yes. So if, for example, this is your slab and you are going to dance or whatever you're going to be there, we are the live load. So the load is going to take care of by your walls only. So you don't have any columns or beams and all. The load, the slab will directly rest on your wall. The wall will take care of the load, means that is called load bearing structure. The same way, we are having the wall, but when you are applying the load will transfer to the beam, right? Slab to the beam, then beam to the column, and column to the foundation. That type of structure is called frame structure. For load bearing structures, if you are going for wall, maximum you can go with the G plus 2. That height only you can go ahead because the wall have very less strength. So it won't take that much load. That means walls means I'm saying about masonry, brick masonry, not RCC walls. I'm telling about the brick masonry. Okay. So instead of brick masonry, what we have done is we are taking the slab to the beam, then beam to the column and column to the foundation. The load is transferring via this arrangement. Here, the beam and columns can be the structural elements, like it can be RCC or it can be a steel. Okay, so reinforced cement concrete or just a steel member itself. That is the thing what we are doing as of now. And we are having steel composite system also. You may learn in your upcoming semester. Steel composite means even RCC also composite only because you are having steel as well as concrete. But in RCC, concrete is the main component, but steel concrete composite, steel is the main component. So like that, it will change. So wherever you want more stiffness, more capacity, you can go ahead with the steel concrete composite systems, right? Like that, you are having many structural elements. So if your load is, if you are going for higher stories, many number of floors, and if you want to go for large span room and everything, you have to go ahead with the frame type of structures, right? In the frame type of structures, we are having a beams and columns and foundation. Yes, a combination of structural elements. These are there. Here, what we are going to do is in this semester, the frame is there. You are converting the slab load into UDL and from beam hop, for example. So load is there. All the load is going to, you are going to convert as a UDL here, right? We are going to change as a some UDL. Generally, I'm saying like uh, for example, here in plan view, okay, in plan, this is your frame. This is one frame, this is one frame, this is one frame, this is one frame, this is one frame. It's a whole building, right? So you are having these many frames, right? So this is your slab, this slab. Loading is going to be there everywhere. So the thing is, if you want to find out, I'm going to take this is one frame, how much load is going to come means what I can do is I can take this off of the load, this off of the load, how much is going to come, right? So I can substitute as because I told you the live load. How will it be the live load? What is live load? We have the live loads, right? Where will you get the live load? Where will you get the live load? Okay, guys, forget about the analysis class as of now. Okay, forget it. Now you are a civil engineer. Just assume, and also civil engineer. You got became a full civil engineer like that. You just assume you have passed all 8 semesters and everything. You are graduate. Your father is asking, You just construct one building for a whole family. Okay, just he has a land. Some plot is there. Okay, so he asking you because his son or daughter is became a civil engineer in a reputed institute. Okay, so he asking put the just design a building and construct for you. Okay, like that he is telling you. So what will be your procedures, steps? What will you do? So the question is simple. You are going to construct the building. What is the step-by procedure? How will you start? As a civil engineer, you should know what are the things that are going on. Now itself, it's the second year end, right? You're going to become a third year student. So you should know what are the activities that are going on in the site. You're going to construct the own building. What are the things you must do? What is your first procedure, first step?
So surveying and site examination.
Surveying. Okay, good. Then, so the surveying, why are you doing the surveying, first of all?
So to see how much we have plot area.
How much you are having the plot area. For example, your father saying, okay, this is the kind of different way, like this is there, somewhere we don't know. So you want to know how much the length and this way everywhere. Measurements. The plot area you are going to measure, right? And if some undulations are there, means you have to remove and you have to fill. That will be there. Good. Surveying. Second one.
The marking.
Marking. Okay, surveying itself marking will come, right? How will you mark? What are you going to mark in that?
So we use the surveying like some like tape or.
No, that's it. It's just a measure using that.
Okay.
What are you going to measure? Already some plot is there. So you want to know what is the area of the plot. That's all. For that you have done surveying. That is okay. Next question. What will you ask your father? The father is your client. You are engineer.
Budget.
Budget. Good. How much budget? The budget, he will tell this much amount he has. Another one thing, he needs G plus 2 or 2 BHK or 3 BHK like that. So how many floors are required? So kitchen size, how much should be there? So what is the bedroom size required? Right? First of all, you should ask how many bedrooms are required or how many floors are required. Yes, sir. The client thing you should ask, right? Based on that, you have asked now client requirements. Okay, he needs only ground floor is enough because that much fund only money only we are having. So go ahead with the 2 BHK. That means 2 bedroom, 1 hall, 1 kitchen. A toilet, those things will come automatically. One is attached bathroom, another one is common. It's a typical, right? Typical flat system, ground floor. Now tell me, what will you do next?
So soil profile, we will see the bearing capacity of soil.
First, you should know how much load is going to come, right? Soil is, yeah, he have to do. Before itself, he have to sit with the client. What is his requirements? Now you just know the requirements to BHK. What will you do next? Will you go directly soil profile or what will you do before that?
Plan, building cluster.
Yeah, you have to go with the plan. Who will prepare the plan for you? Who will prepare?
Architect and civil engineer.
Yeah. Mostly,
Architecture, sir.
mostly if you want to go for different aesthetic appearance and all you require, you can ask architect people because its major role will be architect only for planning. So how will you come elevation as well as where you are going to put the kitchen, where you are going to put the bedroom, all those things and all. They should have some vastu kind of thing and all because the client will ask those kind of things. And one more thing, mostly kitchen if you are putting in the east face, so sun will come on that time, so you don't need to use any lights or the on that time. So you can save the energy, right? Accordingly, you can save the electricity also because morning time only for kitchen you require the lighting. So at that time, okay, you are putting the east face on kitchen, so that time sunlight will be there, so you can no need to put the lights all those things and all. Like that only it started. Each and everything has some meaning. Okay, so like that we have to plan. We have to plan the building where the kitchen is going to come, where the things and all going to come, and the sizes and all. You can ask your client how much he requires. Okay, so based on the existing dimension and based on the client thing, you can create the plans. Okay, you can create some plan. Just assume I'm simple. I am putting the frames like this. I can put like here, kitchen is there, and here one. For example, I'm coming here. This is hall and 2 bedrooms are there. Just assume 2 bedrooms, and here one kitchen is there, and here one hall is there. Like that, you just assume now. Okay, one plan is ready as of now. Right? What will be the next step? What will be the next step?
Design, sir.
Design.
Yes, sir. Structural design, analysis and design.
Before itself, you should plan where your column is going to be there. First, you should mark your columns. So how many span of the beam you can put, or example, for example, people sometimes doesn't want columns in between. So maybe column maybe hindrance for their actions or something. Maybe in your class, just assume you are sitting in the class, right? Classroom, some intermediate, some columns are there, means it's very difficult to view the board, right? So like that. So some places you need some distance is required. Length of the beam is matters here. So where you are going to put the columns, right? The location of columns matter. Now you put the location of columns. Before that, you have to do soil investigation. After plan, just go ahead with the soil investigation also. Anyway, soil investigation can come at any time before starting the work. Before doing design the foundation, you can do before any time you can do the soil investigation. But thing is, at the time of foundation, designing the foundation only, you require the soil bearing capacity. Okay, so the whole building is going to rest on your ground. So the weight of the whole structure is going to resist by your soil only. So you should know how much it will carry. So based on the soil capacity, you might have know this is my foundation system. Okay, and also you can change the columns also, because one particular column that much load is going to come means you can accordingly change the number of columns or spacing of the column so that your loading will reduce. The loading will reduce. For example, keep this is a 5 meter spacing. You are having the column. You are having the load. Just assume this is 10. Okay, this is 10. So how much axial force is going to come to the column? How much it will come? How much axial force will come per column?
25 each.
25.
10 into WL by 2, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is your reaction. The reaction is nothing but your axial force for the column, 25 kilonewton. So the thing is, suddenly what I'm doing is I'm going to increase the span as 10 meter. Same loading, but span is 10 meter. What my axial force per column now? What will be my axial force on column?
50, sir.
50, right? So now the thing is, the column is going to supported by foundation, right? So now foundation also, how much axial force is going to come? 50, but here 25. So the thing is, if you are putting, if you are distributing the load with very close spacing of the columns, you can distribute the load evenly to your soil. So the thing is, you should play with the economy as well as your client wish. You should not put the spacing of columns very close also, because the column cost also will get increased. You should not go for it. So accordingly, you have to manage. And the thing is, if foundation cost is becoming more, sometimes you can go ahead with close space of columns. That's also an option. Okay, that is just one option. But we are having many type of foundations to get the, what I can say, economic to transfer the load properly also, right? So the thing is, you have done the soil investigation, you found the soil bearing capacity. Now everything is over here. Put the columns also where it's going to be there. Now, the connecting the column, you are having the beams, and elevation also will be there like this. This is your front elevation for this one. maybe most of the isolated footing, what you are putting, isolated footing or pile foundation, or kind of this. I'm just telling about the RCC building. So isolated footing or pile foundation or mat foundation. Mostly the foundation we use to assume as a fixed support. Okay, fixed support. So this is your frame will come like this, like this it is coming. Okay. So now tell me, what is the next step? So the model is ready. You know where is the beam is going to come, where is the columns are going to come. Now everything is ready. What is your next step?
Excavating the soils.
Excavating the soil. Before analyzing the building, you should know how much load and everything is going to come. No. And when will you excavate the soil? How much depth we have to go for it? The depth of foundation. The foundation is required. For that only you can excavate the soil. Before that, before going to the site, we should finish many things. That is on nothing but structural analysis. One person told, right? We have to do the analysis now. You know the frame, you know the beam, where is going to look at the columns and everything is there. Here slab going to be there and everything we know that. Now putting the software, or now you are learning the structural analysis, right? Slope deflection method and momentum, those things you are going to learn now. So you can do your manually also. Before doing that, all of you please remember, we have done a problem, right? Beam. In EI, I is there, yes or no? What is second moment of area? What is second moment of area? Guys, what is second moment of area? That is based on sectional property, right? BDQ by 12, rectangular means. Yes or no? The cross section.
Yes, sir.
We are not yet arriving any cross section now. So how can you give the dimension? How will you give the dimension? To do the analysis, you require I value. I requires section property. Yes or no? Yes or no? You require, right? Sectional property. Without doing anything, how you can say my beam size is this one, column size is this one, like that and that? Any guess?
Sir, we'll take some value and then if it doesn't match, we'll change it.
Okay, good. But we are, we can say like that trial section we are going to take simply, but that also should be in terms of based on some thumb rules. Those things you will learn in your design subject. When I am taking the design subject, I will tell you how to take the thumb rules to choose the initial dimension of beam and column and everything. Okay. For example, column I can say like column. What is stress? What is stress? Simple equation P by A, right? Load by area. So the P already, if you know that, now you can easily simply calculate, right? How much axle load is going to come based on without any section property. You are telling like this 50 is coming, 25 is coming. Like that, if you know the load, if I know the stress, I'm going to limit the stress means I can find out the area. This much area is only required for steel column. R is also we can write as a in terms of stress also. So like that it is there. So initially from based on thumb rule, you can choose the section and do the manual analysis or software. There are having many softwares are there. You can do that. What are you going to find from the analysis? Shear force, bending moment, diagrams, and axial forces. So for that, we have to design the sections. The column, beam, slab, everything has to resist those loadings. Right? This is the procedure till structural design. What will be the next one? So now you know you have done the analysis. After that, you have to do the design, structural design for those shear force, bending moment diagram, and axial force diagram, everything. And foundation also, how much load is going to come, how much load is going to come, that you have to find out. That also you have to design. So you have to design the slab, you have to design the beam, you have to design the column, and you have to design the foundation. Right? Then what will be the next step? Now you can excavate, you can start the work, all those things and done. So now only you can go to the site after getting the drawing, structural drawing. This is the procedure. This is the procedure. You should know how the things are moving up. Directly they won't go and start the work and all. Mason can do, not a structural engineer, civil engineer. Mason will do. They know already this is the load is going to come, this is the phase. So this much reinforcement only they will put. So standard one they will go for it. Okay, that is a different one. Mason will do that, not our civil engineers. Okay, right. You have any questions in that? Now you can tell, right? So this is the procedure you have to do that when you are going to start some construction. Yes or no? Have you discussed these things in introduction to civil engineering? Did I discuss with you those class? No. So 2 years over, right? I also forgot. Anyone discuss about this? Guys, I'm asking you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Anyone has already discussed about these things?
No, sir.
Then how will you become civil engineer? I think, okay, someone might have discussed these things here. Okay, so this is the way, each and everything, one by one. Why are you doing analysis? This is a step. So the thing is, you should know how much stress is going to develop your structure. For that, you have to arrive that design or sizes and the reinforcement. That is the thing you are doing, all those things and all. Okay. Now, the frame, how much force is going to come, that we are going to find out. Right? That we are going to find out. Before going to the frame, we are having different type of frames. First of all, okay. Right. What is the difference between A and B? What is the difference between A and B? Hmm?
That horizontal deflection.
Yeah, okay, good. Can you tell in terms of difference maybe to these two frames by the deflected shape? How will it deflect? The 90-degree it has to maintain. Okay. The 90-degree will be there always. Because the rigid joint, 90-degree should be there. What about here?
It will sway towards it.
It will sway, right? Laterally, some displacement will be there. Yes or no? Because of the lateral load. But it won't sway, this will sway. So the difference between these two frames are this is normal frame or non-sway frame. This is sway frame. This is sway frame. The same way, another one. This frame is sway frame or non-sway frame? Just guess. AA. This frame is sway frame or non-sway frame? Sway frame means is laterally, it has to deflect. Okay? Because of the lateral deflect, what is happening? This frame is settling, right? The delta additionally developing. This, due to this delta, you will get additional moment 68 del by L square that we have discussed, right? The frame, this column, just think about the column is settling like this. Because of sway action, you can say that is also kind of settling, right? So tell me, what about these two frames? This is, it doesn't have any sway. So rotation only there. Not delta, only rotation. Theta only is there. Here, delta also there, theta also will be there. What about these two? Okay, another question. I having the lateral load, UDL. Just tell me, this is a sway frame or not sway frame?
Not swaying, sir. The leftmost.
This is,
It won't sway.
it won't sway. Because it is, if base will take care of the lateral load, it won't sway. Good. Some amount deflection will be there, but not much. That we can assume it won't have that much delta. So you can say this is non-sway. What about this one? And this one? Sway or non-sway?
Say it is sway frame.
Sway. If you are having a unsymmetrical loading, unsymmetrical columns, supports, length, or even unsymmetrical properties, those things and all there means you will find sway will be there. You can assume some sway will be there. So we are having two type of frames to analyze for upcoming week. One is sway frame, another one is non-sway frame. Non-sway frame is very easy. What you have done to the beam, same thing only you are going to adopt in non-sway frame. Sway frame, we require one more equation because due to this delta, to arrest the delta, we need shear equation. Okay, the delta also is another degree of freedom. To find the delta, we need another equation that is called shear equation. That I will let you know when we are dealing with when we are going to deal with the sway frame. That time I will let you know what is shear equation. That will be useful to find out the delta at that time. Okay, so that unknown. Now we will go to this non-sway frame first. Non-sway frame first to analyze. Right. Is it a sway frame or non-sway frame? Sway or non-sway? Guys, sway or non-sway?
So sway.
Huh?
Sway frame.
Sway frames. Why? How it is sway frame? Will it deflect laterally? Because it is fixed, here also fixed, even it will try to move away from that. If I am continuously holding means it won't sway right laterally. Because we are arresting that lateral movement by this fixity. So if you are having kind of cantilever system, if I am pulling this one, it won't move because it will hold the whole structure. Like that, it will hold the whole structure. It's coming under non-sway frame. Non-sway frame. So the thing is, for beam, what is your first step to how will you start the procedure? How will you start the analysis? What will you do? What will you do? The question is clear, right? Shall I draw one more time? This
Sir,
is
in
what
this question is 12 kilonewton will deflect it horizontally now.
right. That means vertically it will try to deflect the beam alone, member alone. Actually, overhanging we won't take it as a member. It will try to pull the structure, but this fixed support will hold the structure. So it won't have any lateral displacement. Vertical displacement will be there. Sway lateral displacement won't be there. So I think now question is clear. So how will you start the procedure? What will be your first step? What will be your first step?
We will calculate the reactions at C and D.
We will calculate the
Reactions at C and D.
that's what we are going to calculate. But how will you start the procedure? That means you are telling about the n moments, right? So first of all,
Yes.
before itself, we have to find out the number of degree of freedom. How many degree of freedoms are there? How many degree of freedom in this frame? How many degree of freedom? How many degree of freedom are the joints? Actually, how many joints are there first? How many joints are there?
3.
3. What are those?
So B, D, C.
Yeah, B, C, D. A is not a joint. It's just a, like a, if you have cantilever beam, it's just a end point, free end. It's not a joint. So don't need to worry about the A at all. So now C is fixed, D is fixed. So degree of freedom is 0. No theta, no delta. What about B? What about B? Kind of rigid joint, right? Rigid joint only, but it can rotate, right? It can rotate. So you will have only 1 degree of freedom. So only one unknown. So you need only one equation to solve the whole problem. What is that one equation? What is the one equation? Summation of moment at
B equals to 0.
That's all. The problem is simple. You have to find out summation of moment at B. So to calculate the summation of moment at B, what are the moments are required? MBA plus MBD plus MBC equal to 0. Right? This is the only thing you require. So can you calculate now MBD, MBC, MBA? So what will be your MBA first? What is MBA? What is MBA? Cantilever beam, 10 kilonewton, 1.5 meter. What is the moment? 10 into 1.5, right? 15 kilonewton meter. How will it act? That 15 kilonewton meter. Here only you get hogging, right? So it will act like this, right? In this beam. Yes or no? So here, at the end, your fixed support here kind of rigid joint. So you will get hogging here because of cantilever action. So the moment direction will be like this to make a hogging. So it's a clockwise direction. The moment is 10 into 1.5. 10 into 1.5. So this will be 15 kilonewton meter direct moment. You don't have any kind of fixity, all those things. Just as a cantilever beam, you can take the direct values. Then MBC. MBC you require MFBC plus 4EA theta B by L plus 2EA theta C by L plus or minus 6EA delta by L square. So delta is not there, no settlement. Only these components only going to be there. What is your MFBC? What is your MFBC? M is due to the loading. What is your end moment? What is the end moment? First of all, you have to lock all the supports, right? Don't forget it. You should lock all the joints. Joints should be locked by fixed support. So this is 24, 4, WL square by 12. WL square by 12. So BC, this is anti-clockwise. So minus WL square by 12 minus WL square by 12. So what is the value? What is the value? Minus 32 kilonewton meter. So MFCB will be this clockwise W square by 12. So plus 24 4 square by 12, 32 kilonewton meter. So MFCB okay. Then I'm going to write MPC alone for the making equation. MFBC is minus 32 plus 4 EI. Theta B is unknown. Length is 4 meter, right? Length is 4 meter plus what is theta C? Theta is fixed support, so rotation won't be there. That is 0. So this equation will become minus 32 plus theta B EI. So keep this as MBC, right? So MFCB, after that you can, if you want to find out the moment, right, after type support, you can write it and you can find it. First we will finish the equations. Then what is the other thing we require? MBD, right? MBD. What is MBD? What is MBD? MFBD plus 4EI theta B by L plus 2EI theta D by L plus or minus XEI by L square will come. So no more settlement or deflection, that is 0. So here, what will be your MFBD? You can log the support. This is 12, 1.5, 1.5. What is the value?
W A square B by L.
W?
A square B by L.
L square or LC? W A square B by L square or L?
L square, sir. L square.
L square. Okay. So the thing is W 1.5 square or 1.5, whatever. W A square B by L square or W A B square by L square, both are same because the span is same. 1.5, 1.5 only. By L square is 3 square. The value will come around 4.5 kilonewton meter. But the thing is, here anti-clockwise will be there, here clockwise will be there. Right? That is the major thing you should know. Here anti-clockwise, here clockwise. We need BD only, that is clockwise moment. So the plus value 4.5 kilonewton meter. So now we have calculated BD, BC. Okay, so BD I will just finish it out. BD is 4.5 plus 4 EI theta B is unknown. L is 3 meter plus D is 0. So no, not required. So the equation will become MBD equal to 4.5 plus 1.33 EI theta B. Right? This I can take as a third. This is 2 and this is a 1. Right? So you can add 1, 2, 3, all things. 15 plus theta B EI minus 32 plus 4.5 plus 1.33 EI theta B equal to 0. So we can calculate the theta B value now, right? How much? How much? Let's check the calculation. How much value? So it is coming around minus 5.36 by EA. That is my theta B. So now you know the theta B, you can find all the unknowns. Substitute and you can find all the unknowns. Draw the bending moment diagram. It's simple, right? So like a beam only. So just don't get fear about the frames and all. Same kind of problem. Just lock the support and do whatever you want to do, as it is we have done in the previous things in beams. Same procedure. No need to worry about that. Only thing is, you should know how many number of items properly. Then lock the support, and you should know the fixed end moments, right? Due to the loading and slope deflection equations. Substitute normal mathematics then. You just solve the equations and substitute again. Find all the bending moments and draw the bending moment diagram properly. Right? Okay. So we will solve some other problems in upcoming classes. Any questions now? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? So why I am going fast means this one. Already we have done 2 problems in the beam itself, same procedure. I'm not at all doing anything new here. That's why I went somewhat fast today. So if you have any questions, if you want me to stop in somewhere, please let me know during the class itself. We will discuss. Okay.
Sir, what if any deflection occurs?
What in deflection means lateral deflection occurs.
Yes, sir.
That is, we will see in a sway frame. We needed some more equations and everything. Here deflection won't occur. Vertical only will be there, that is normal deflection, not a lateral one. If deflection occurs, you have to limit the lateral deflection also. Due to the lateral deflection, additional moment will develop due to the members. That's why I told you, right? For example, in physically, if you want to tell in terms of concept, so this is a normal frame. Okay. Due to the normal gravity load, you will have rotation alone first. You will have rotation alone. So due to rotation, in your equation, maybe for this member, what are the moment will develop in the end moment is due to rotation only you will get the moment 4a theta by L plus 2a theta by L. That moment only will add in the member. But if it is sway, if it is deflected means this member settled by some delta. So you will get additional moment due to this lateral. You will get additional moment. So for that also we have to design it. So if you are not including that additional moment, and if you are designing for the frame for without considering that means surely it will fail. So you should take care of that that settlement effect or the lateral displacement effect. Due to the lateral displacement, you will get additional moment in the frame. That is a physical concept here. Okay. Without mathematics, if you are thinking the frame is there, if you are not at all going to sway means due to the rotation alone, bending moment is going to develop. That end moment going to develop. But if it is sway, it is laterally displaced due to that delta, you will get additional moment as 6a del by L square. Okay, that is a concept here. You should understand, right? That is the additional one going to develop. So, for example, due to the rotation, 10 kilonewton meter only developing means due to the additional this way, it may be 13 or 14 or 15 or 20 also. So you should not design your member for 10 kilonewton meter. You should design for 15 or 20, whatever is going to come, right? That is a concept behind this. So we will solve this wave frame in upcoming classes. How to solve this? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I'll take it as no questions. So I just want to know how many people. Only 57. I'm just expecting at least one day I will get the full utterance. I don't know when will I get it. CRs, when will I get that full utterance?
Tomorrow, sir.
Tomorrow. Okay. Why today people are not at all there? So you have any exams? Do you have any exam?
No, sir.
Then okay, right. Okay. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.